Dusty and Hernan with you. Tommy Gazzola is off today. We are talking all things Oilers. Thank you very much for being here. Hey, and get that chat hopping and get the text line hopping. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. That is where you can get in today. Lots to discuss coming out of the weekend. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. And over in the Nasty Chat, hammer the thumbs up if you're watching over there as well. We have to only talk Oilers today. There's nothing else to discuss, and we will just move straight through to that, correct?
Hey, someone on the Nasty Chat asked Dusty how he did at Tecmo today. Do it.
It was on the bad side. I don't like that side. I'm uncomfortable on the right side, Nanso. You had a better team.
Did I, though?
Well, apparently we were Houston. You had Warren Moon. And who's my quarterback? I don't even know who my quarterback was. This is what I'm talking about. Phil Simms. I was the Giants. He was the Oilers. And what was the final score? 13-0?
Shutout.
Shut me out. Now. You were up 3-0.
Yes.
I drove the field, fumbled inside the 10.
Yeah.
Could have put 7 on the board there. But I will say this, outside of that, I didn't have much going offensively till the last drive of the game.
I was on today. I was calling all your plays.
Yeah, you were. You must have been cheating today.
I wasn't. You almost blamed Reed for giving me the plays.
Well, Reed and Trevor sitting behind me. This guy keeps calling on my plays, and we're supposed to look away when we put in our plays so the other guy can't cheat. But you, at like the most critical moment of the game, you picked 3 plays in a row.
It's just I was reading your mind, man.
Come on, you were on today. What does that win do for you overall? What's bigger, the Oilers win against the Islanders on Friday, or you today versus me?
Me?
Yeah, I thought
That's
so.
Huge.
I thought so.
Like, just think of this: you're going on vacation.
I know.
Losing in 21, losing at Tech.
I lost twice to Trev in 21 today.
Unless you play Matty before you go home today. And
I got to play Reed. I got to play Reed in 21. Like, that's how I got to get back in the win column before I leave. That's my only hope. I think that's my only hope. Right? Have you filled out your bracket?
I'm going to
I'm
today.
partway through my bracket. I'm going to get it done before I leave.
I don't really I don't know squat about college basketball.
Nobody does in Canada.
Yeah. But I'll take it home. I just like seeing the team names.
Yeah.
Kind of,
I usually, there's a couple websites I go to. I'll Google like best chances of upsets. And then I'll pick a few of those and we'll see what ends up happening.
It's a great tournament, though. I love watching it.
It is.
Yeah.
Some of the best television that you could possibly get.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the first weekend. I'm going to be I'm not going to be by TV. So I'm going to miss pretty much the entire first round. But I even like second weekend. Second weekend, you're hitting still Thursday, good. Friday, Saturday, Sunday as well. All of the teams are better. I mean, second weekend. First weekend's the best because it's just basketball for 4 straight days from 10 in the morning until 10 at night. But second weekend's still pretty good. I don't like how they always have the final in April.
I know.
On a Monday. It's just like March Madness should end in March. But what are you going to do?
We haven't done a show probably since 1260 days when I was filling in for Eric.
What do you mean, you and me together?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's nice to do a show with you, buddy.
Yeah.
It's nice to do a show with you. I think this is the start of Tecmo post games at noon. Hey? On like a Bizarro street where it's just Tecmo post games.
You complain about the sides.
I do.
Come season, you're going to have to.
I know. I have to worry. I got to start playing more on that right side. Now, here's the thing. Like, we play on a stand-up arcade game, and the hand that you're using on the joystick is your left hand.
Yeah.
And I like to get my left hand out there. And when I'm on the right side, just like at the old place, because we had the barrier in between, but on the right side, it's like my arm has to be sort of tucked in a bit. And it frustrates me. But we're all going to have to play on both sides. And I'm going to have to get better on the right side. But I think you've beat me twice now with me on the right side.
You're full of excuses, just like the Oilers.
I'm full of excuses.
And LeBron.
Oh, my God. Not today, man. The oil stream is a no-fly LeBron zone, okay? By the way, Oil Stream brought to you by Boston Pizza. And what a great turnout. You were there for a bit Friday night.
That was great.
You didn't want to leave, did you?
No, that was a good time.
I was just like, did you have a dart after leaving there before you got in here? Okay, all right.
No.
But that was, it was essentially standing room only at Westgate Boston Pizza. Phenomenal time there. Curtis, Tony, and the crew putting on a hell of a night. Tons of stuff. They gave away a Coors Light gift bag, which was awesome. The lady who won that was absolutely fired up. You know who's pretty good at working that mic in there is Tommy Gazzola.
He's good.
Hey, he's a natural on the hosting mic.
Yeah.
I think you gotta like that. But yeah, the place was absolutely packed. Got a little quiet there early in overtime when they weren't shooting. When the one Islander didn't have a stick, it kind of quieted down. But then when Draisaitl got the breakaway, shutout Pickard for the nice play. Draisaitl gets a breakaway, takes her home and puts it down. The place absolutely erupted. So that was nice to see. We're gonna be back there right away. Next Wednesday, my first day back actually. Westgate Boston Pizza for Lock Shop and Oil Stream at lunch from 11 until 1. That's on Wednesday the 26th. So, I mean, a bunch of you have been coming by that Westgate location. Join me for Lock Shop and Oil Stream. Tommy be there on the 26th. And then the very next night, the 27th, Tommy is back for the game as well.
And it's a late one.
And that's the Dallas game, isn't it?
Yeah,
is that the Dallas
8 o'clock. They're all 8 o'clock next week.
Really?
Yeah. Wednesday, Thursday, 8, Saturday, 8.
Oh, is Wednesday the Dallas game? Which one's because they have 3 days off, right? They have they play so Wednesday's Dallas. And then they're on the road Thursday?
Wait. What are we doing? Yeah, Wednesday Dallas, and then they fly to Seattle the next night.
And play the next night.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Penner's Pancakes on the post game said the next 10 of their 15 games, their last 15 games, are all at 8 o'clock or later. Because there's some 8:30s in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Now they do have an easy schedule, do they not?
They do.
I thought I saw that. It's like one of the easiest schedules in the league.
Well, they get the Sharks twice at the end of the season. They have the Ducks. Oh, they have the Sharks 3 times, actually.
They play the Sharks 3 more times?
Yeah, they do. April 3rd, April 11th, April 16th, the final game of the regular season.
Do you want to play the Sharks 3 times when you're ramping up for the playoffs?
Yeah, because especially that last game, none of the big guys should play.
Yeah.
Ekholm,
I mean, what if they're fighting for home ice against the Kings?
It won't matter.
You don't think so?
No.
So if it comes down to it, you don't care if they're on the road or at home against the Kings? Or you think that it'll already be taken care of at that point?
No, I think if they meet the Kings, they're in trouble. I truly think.
Well, they're going to meet the Kings, are they not? Or do you think because of this schedule, they can track down Vegas?
They're only 4 points back, man.
Yeah. Vegas hasn't been playing well either. So you still think if they play the Kings, they're in trouble this year, eh?
Yeah. To beat a team 4 straight times. And
that's a pretty bad look on the Kings if they lose 4 straight times.
And the Oilers, there's just something not right about them. Like, and don't get me wrong, they won the 2 games on the weekend. Yesterday was probably their best game, complete game, since 4 Nations ended, right?
Yeah, it was. I think their first 40 against Dallas was their best stretch. But you said full game.
Full game. Like
that one was better than the Friday one. I mean, it was a bit of a dud, but that's okay. I mean,
you get a goal from Connor, who finally decided to shoot. Corey Perry's been excellent this year. Like 15 goals. I was going to call you Tom. Dustin.
That's okay.
Well, you're just as handsome.
We look the same.
And then Arvidsson on a bit of I think it deflected off the defenseman's stick because you can tell it caught Shesterkin a little by surprise there. But good on them. Now, Dusty, 4 home games. You cannot lay an egg tomorrow.
No. I mean, I think they go 3-1 on this homestand. I think they take Utah, they take Seattle, and they get one of the Winnipeg-Dallas games. Is that being too much of a homer, you think?
No, but that's where they should be.
That should be the expectation.
And listen, Utah's not a pushover. They're playing some good hockey.
Utah, 6-2-2 in their last 10. 2 regulation losses in their last 10 games. And this game for Utah is more important than the game is for the Oilers. Like Utah is fighting for their playoff lives here right now. So
what a race.
If the Oilers don't play the way they played against the Rangers, Utah can beat them. I mean, I honestly think they can.
Now, it sounds like Ekholm more likely back on Thursday.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you this. They asked us on the postgame show, when Klingberg's good to go, he's your 7th. You're not taking anyone out of this lineup for him.
So we discussed this briefly today.
Okay.
And to me, I would have Klingberg as the 7th. So let's just start there. I would have Klingberg as the 7, and he gets in the playoffs if something goes wrong or if somebody's hurt. But I could see over these last 15 games, 60-40 split between Emberson and Klingberg from the coaching staff. 60% Emberson, 40% Klingberg.
You think it's that close?
Well,
I'd go more like 80-20, man.
I'm with you. I wouldn't even play him at all. But I'm just thinking from a coaching staff perspective, they want to get him some games. They want to get him back up to speed just in case they need to go to him in the playoffs.
He's a vet.
I think that's I would think that's probably what it will be. But like come playoff time, not that Emberson lights the world on fire, but there's some physicality in his game. Both, I mean, he takes a lot of hits, but he's got timing on some hits that Klingberg just doesn't bring to the table. And if you have Wallman and you have Kulak and you have Bouchard and you've got these other guys who can move the puck, I don't think you need Klingberg in there for just his puck moving abilities because, I mean, he's had some defensive lapses that you just won't be able to get away with in the playoffs.
No, and with the pace picking up, we saw Vinny Desharnais, younger guy, bigger, right? He was awesome last year in the in the regular season, but when the playoffs kicked off, he struggled. Why? Because the pace increases, and that's what worries me about Klingberg. Sure, you know when you can play Klingberg, Dusty, like I was alluding to, the Sharks last game of the season.
Maybe a couple of the Sharks games. If you want,
yeah. And then if you want at that point, you continue to give maybe Ekholm some rest time.
Do you have their whole schedule up there?
Yes, I do.
Let's play the game. Like let's just go through it.
Sure.
Okay, so Utah. Win?
Yes.
Winnipeg.
Probably a loss.
Okay.
Kraken,
Seattle.
Win. Stars.
I say win.
Sure.
Let's go win. Let's say you can't pick them all just on. Okay, and then what's next?
The Kraken.
And that's on the road.
On the road.
The next day.
They do well, though, in Seattle.
Okay, well, that's another win.
The Flames at home.
Here?
Yeah. Ooh.
What night is that?
Saturday night.
Oh, win. Okay. So we've got them going 5-6 in their next 6.
All right. Then they travel to Vegas.
Okay.
Loss. Then they travel to the Sharks. Win.
Are they not back-to-back?
Yes, they are. Nope.
Okay. Win anyway. Okay.
Then 2 days later, they're in LA to take on the Kings.
Loss. I'm going loss.
Then they go to Anaheim.
LA's great at home.
Yeah.
Anaheim.
They've played them tough this year.
I'm going loss.
Okay.
That's going to be like that one little, but they're not going to win them all. Okay. And then what's after that?
St. Louis Blues, 2 days after, at home.
Win.
Sharks again, 2 days later. The Winnipeg Jets. I'm going to say win.
Okay.
Kings at home. Win.
I mean, we got them rolling.
Because imagine that game is for second place. Home ice advantage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, win. Because we put them on a loss in LA. Right? Was that in LA, the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And
then they finish off the season in San Jose.
Okay, so let me do the math on this. All right, so we've got them for 1 win, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 5-1, 5-2, 6-2, 6-3, 7-3, 8-3, 9-3, 10-3, 10-4, 11-4 in their final 15. Is that too up? I mean, I don't think we're stretching too much here. We have them losing to the Ducks, for goodness sakes.
I mean, if this team's going to find their groove and build off what they did this weekend, they should be winning 10, 11 games here to close it out. You have the Sharks 3 times.
I think we probably are a little bit over. I would
Steve
say
says we're wildly optimistic.
15 games. Let's say they just go,
and then
even 9-6.
Sure.
So let's say they lose to Winnipeg again, and they drop one that we think they should win, St. Louis or something. I mean,
because
they should win, at minimum they should win 8 of these 15 games. We just had down 11.
I mean, if this team is a true contender, guys, and they find their groove when they get Trent Frederick in the lineup, Matthias Ekholm, why is 10, 11 wins not realistic? Like, we're being called ridiculous right now for like, this is a team that's supposed to compete for the Stanley Cup. They should be winning 10, 11 games to close it out.
James B over in the Nasty chat, where if you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. 11-4 question mark, very possible, but I see more like 9-4-2. And we didn't get into the overtime losses and things like that. KB says, I will gladly take the under on the 11 wins. Okay, so let's say our super duper optimistic is like 11-4. They should win. Let's say at minimum they should get 8 wins.
8 wins.
And like 8, 6, and 1 or something like that. Now, what's the bad news in the last 15? Because this is an easy schedule. It's like the 3rd, 4th, 5th easiest schedule in the entire league. It's not like they're beating a bunch of, it's not like they'd be losing to a bunch of good teams. I mean, most of the good teams on here, we have them losing too.
Well, anything under 8, I think, is extremely concerning and disappointing.
Yeah, like
seriously,
if they go 7-8 or 7-6-3 or 7-6-2 or whatever it is, You can't be playing sub 500 hockey coming down the stretch in the playoffs. Like you can't do it. So yeah, 11-4 might be shooting high, but this team should win 9 or 10 of these final 15 games if they're going to be a team that you think can get past the Kings in the first round of the playoffs. Because this just in, the Kings have won 5 in a row. Vegas has been like, but we're just looking at the Kings, and the Kings have won 5 in a row.
Okay, so Cheek says, I'm calling you guys ridiculous because we should win more than 11. Well, I mean, there's a few gimme games there. Now,
he is doing smiley face, though.
It all changes, Dusty, if, let's say, with 5 games left, we already know where the Oilers are going to be slotted in.
Yeah.
Because then a lot of the guys are not going to play. Seriously.
So would you, let's say there's 4 games left, and they are a point up or 2 points. Let's say they're 2 points up or down. They're in that 4-point window against the Kings.
Okay.
Their second last game of the year is against the Kings. I mean, they're going to play in that game.
Oh, yeah.
So are you sitting them against like San Jose with 4 games left? Or like I think I would not be surprised, Nanso, if they're battling for home ice in the first round of the playoffs and McDavid and Draisaitl are playing 26 minutes in the final game of the year against the Sharks.
Probably.
Trying to seal it away. Like, is that not more realistic than these guys getting some rest at the end?
Yeah, because LA's not going anywhere. So I think it's going to be a battle right till the end. But let's just say with 4 games left, LA's up 8. You're done, right? You're cooked. At that point, you can rest players.
Then you can rest some guys, yeah.
Who cares about wins or losses? But because you're just going to be in that 3rd spot. But I don't know, man. I think they have the Stars twice. They have the Kings twice. They have the Vegas Golden Knights. They have Utah, who's rolling. The Flames, who are not going anywhere. Like, as much as people say it's easy, it's not that easy. St. Louis is right there.
Yeah, but if you look at it as of this morning, non-play at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams. 9 of the 15 games are against non-playoff teams. As of this morning, now Utah's close, but they're not in. Calgary's close, but they're not in. I think Vancouver's holding down that final spot right now.
St. Louis is tied for the last wildcard spot.
Yeah,
but they're not in because I think they have a game. They're a game up.
All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or hit us up over in the nasty chat. Hammer the thumbs up if you're over there. And if you're listening to the Oil Stream podcast later on, slide on over and give the Edmonton Sports Talk YouTube channel a bit of a sub there as well. Let's get to some text messages. We'll talk about the weekend here a little bit. Collingwood Rob says, Dusty, am I wrong for yelling at my TV in overtime when the Oilers had the broken stick, the injured defender blocked the shot, and all 3 Oilers refused to change, even with the bench being close? I thought that's when they blew it. When they didn't, like, they weren't even shooting.
Yeah.
McDavid and Draisaitl and Bouchard were kind of just flying around the zone. The one defenseman's limping. He doesn't have a stick. I was like, finish it here. And then they don't. And they lose possession. I was like, oh, man, like, they're going to lose in a shootout because Sorokin's going to steal it from Pickard in a shootout. And then Pickard makes the brilliant play, Draisaitl breakaway. But I could see, I said it this morning on the show. Like, I guarantee Oilers fans were watching the first part of that overtime absolutely losing their mind when those 3 guys weren't putting the puck on net. Like,
yeah, it's frustrating. Even yesterday, how many shot did McDavid pass up? Like 3? Like, Tommy and I were here and we're like, shoot the damn puck. Like, he's all alone with the goalie, but he keeps looking to his right. And we all know why. But then he finally puts it on net. And because that game on Friday, Dusty, on the postgame show, like, people were like, okay, they got 2 points, but it didn't make anyone feel good.
No, it didn't.
You know what I mean? Where yesterday it was a lot better.
That postgame show I was in there trying to throw some bombs around with the Shesterkin thing. Like, because look, Shesterkin gets scored on with the Arvidsson goal, and it hit a stick.
It did.
And some people were like, yeah, it hit a stick. But if a puck hits a stick that far out and Skinner's in net and it goes past his head like that, he's getting torched.
He is.
He's getting absolutely torched. And he outplayed Shesterkin last night. Like, he just did.
He made a big save on Mika at 2-1 on the power play.
The one on the arm and tight there? Yeah, that was a good, it wasn't a pretty thing, but he got in front of it. That was my big moment of the game. I mean, if they tie it there, I think the Rangers probably against this fragile team, as their coach says, might end up getting it done there.
That's why I think tomorrow's such a big game. Because we were already getting excuses last night. Oh, they always struggle after a long road trip. I'm done with the excuses. Just win. Who cares?
Yeah, they can't come out in the classic, everybody's tweeting after the game. Well, should have seen this coming. It was after a long road. This is a huge game, especially if the Kings tonight. The Kings bounce back ahead of you if they win tonight. And they were on the road tonight. Who are the Kings playing? We just had it on the lock shop. We just did it. We took them to win tonight. Oh, Minnesota. They're in the Kings. The Kings are much better at home than they are on the road, but Minnesota's banged up right now. So we did decide to take the Kings. Darcy Kemper is going to start in that game. Penner's Pancake says, man, that 11.5 mil might not age very well on Shesterkin. I mean, I don't know if 11.5 mil really ages very well on many players, especially goalies.
Yeah.
Aren't the Habs still paying Carey Price?
Yeah, they are.
Carey Price was unbelievable, but you just have to be careful with some of these commitments. Like 11.5 for Shesterkin over 4 years.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, but to get the long-term deal, this is what has to happen. Okay, Harry, now let me ask you this. What was the best thing that you take away for the Oilers this weekend, like from their play this weekend? Is there one thing that sort of stood out to you? And we're going to go the other way on it too. What was the worst thing? But what was the best thing from these games against the Islanders and the Rangers?
That Knobloch didn't go nuclear as often as he has.
Yesterday, you're really anti-nuclear now.
Yes,
right?
Yesterday he barely did it outside of after the PK. And look what happened, Dusty. It paid off. Arvidsson scores the game winner. He did it a little bit more on the island, but not as much. And that's why I'm just looking ahead to the playoffs and saying, if that's your only move, you're in trouble. So I think him sticking to his lines, awesome. I think Pickard and Skinner, they bounce back in a big way because both were struggling a bit.
I think that's I wanted to say the two goaltenders.
Yeah.
But I also think the team tightened things up in front of them. Like, I think the goaltenders had better games because the Islanders and Rangers didn't. I mean, it's not like they held them in check for a lot of that hockey game.
Yeah.
I thought the Oilers in both of those games, and that's why, I said especially the first two periods against the Rangers is kind of a dud.
It was.
But you don't get to say that. And that's usually, remember when the Oilers were winning 16 in a row last year?
Yeah.
There were some boring ass hockey games in there, but they just kept winning. And I think that was the biggest thing for me from the weekend is that they kind of won. Now the Islanders game was really open to start. That was wild first period, but it's not like there was a bunch of goals pumped in. But I felt like they just sort of committed a little bit more defensively than they had recently. And to me, that's probably the biggest takeaway. If they can start to defend like that, your goaltenders aren't going to get hung out to dry and have a bunch of tap-ins going in behind them. So I like the way that they played as a team defensively.
Yeah, because yesterday was only 21 shots on Skinner, but he made this big save when he needed to, and that's what we've been complaining about this whole time.
How many shots on Pickard on Friday?
Pickard had 25 saves.
Okay.
24 saves. Sorry.
Yeah, so 20. They gave up 46 shots across 2 games.
Yeah,
like that's really good defensive hockey. And yeah, you might not be. Well, we'll talk about their offense, but you might not be lighting the world on fire at the other end. But you can prove that you can win these types of games. Now, do it in conference against the Jets this week, and against the Kings down the stretch, and Dallas when they come to town next week. Like there's a lot of those things that you could definitely look at as well. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Hit us up over in the nasty chat if you are on YouTube, and hammer the thumbs up for us as well. We'll get to a few more of your text messages as we continue to work our way through the show. I asked what was the best thing from the weekend. What was the worst thing from the weekend?
Worst thing from the weekend for the Edmonton Oilers. I'd say for me, because it was 2-1 and 3-1 and 2-1, right? So not a lot of bad, but I'm still not liking Adam Henrique's game.
No, even with the bump up and
like he got on the first line and you didn't notice him once.
Yeah,
seriously. Did he? Was there an opportunity to score? Did he make a good pass? Was he good
trying
defensively?
To think, yeah.
Like there's not a lot to pick at. Like even Bush was pretty good last night. Like that's usually, the guy that gets picked off.
It was a Bouchard Skinner criticism-free post-game show.
It was really nice. I gotta say maybe like the Adam Henriques, you need a little bit more. Connor Brown, like they're getting looks with the top players and they're not doing anything with it.
I think the worst thing for me was there's F1 boy. You know how your team did this week?
Yeah,
I haven't looked up my.
I'm 6th and 12th because half my drivers DNF'd.
You're finished 6th with half your guys DNFing?
Well, I had Lando and McLaren in one.
Okay, well that's gonna help. Where do you see our league standings? I never know how to do this. Anyway, what I was gonna say was the fact that I know Hyman was out but Kapanen's the guy who goes up onto the first line.
That should have been mine.
Like, that's just, to me, that's almost the coach being like, hey, Jeff Jackson, Stan Bowman, look at this. Playing Kapanen up here on the right side. Like, I do.
But Dusty, if anyone can send one good reason why Kapanen was on that line, please let me know, because I can't. I
when I tweeted out, I said, this is the most unjustified first line bump I've ever seen. Like, of all the guys, like, nobody is really doing great in the bottom six. I will say, Arvidsson a couple here recently. Looks like he's trying to find some confidence, trying to get the one-timer off and stuff. But, yeah, I thought that was the guy that probably, oh, man, Hernan. I'm in 17th and 19th. God,
I was bad.
What a horrible start.
I already used, you got those wild card tokens, and I already used it.
Did you use one?
Destroy my whole team.
You blew it up?
Yeah, I blew it up, man. Enough is enough.
I can't believe I'm in 17th
I had Kimmy,
and 19th.
And the young man finished 4th, which was awesome. What a drive. And he started
that was why. I don't know how all of a sudden he got up that high. He was like in 8th, and they came through the pits at one time, and I don't know what happened there. So I had Carlos Sainz, and I had a boost on him.
Oh,
so that failed. And
I
also
had Sainz too.
On that same team, I had Esteban Ocon and Behrman.
Yeah, I had both too. They crushed me. They're the worst team
how
now.
did that happen?
What the hell happened to Haas?
And then my Old Spice team, Piastri, George Russell. I had this team stacked up pretty good. Piastri, Russell, Hamilton.
Then how the hell are you 17?
But then I had Behrman and Esteban Ocon again, and Aston Martin and the Racing Bulls. Racing Bulls were minus 10 points. I didn't know you could get minus 10 points.
Yeah, because one of their drivers did not finish, and then Yuki fell pretty hard. He was 12th or 13th. And who's your other team? Aston Martin.
Stroll finished 6th.
Yeah.
So Cass is in first. He had Lando with 118 points. But yeah, he had the guys minus 20, minus 18. He had McLaren and Lando. I mean, if you had McLaren and Lando, you did pretty good. I got to bounce back. Now, I don't know. How do you blow up these teams now?
You got to use a token that you can only use once a season, so you got to be smart. I haven't blown up yet. I'm thinking about it.
I'll have to talk with Gager about strategy after this. Anyway, sorry we got sidetracked there. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Hampton Steve says, the best thing for the weekend, finding ways to score greasy goals. Perry on the power play, and off the rush, Arvidsson and McDavid. I guess finding a way to score greasy goals, you're right. And then off the rush, Arvidsson and McDavid. Wicked shot from McDavid. The worst thing from the weekend, Hyman's injury. Did we hear, was that supposed to be...
I think he was...
He was on the ice testing it before in the morning, right? So
yeah, but I don't think it's anything too serious. So he might even be back by Tuesday. So hopefully, someone else here put his biggest concern was they still can't score, which is fair.
Okay, well let's go there.
Sorry,
I mean, do you expect them to be a team that scores 4 and 5 goals on the regular? When was the last? Let's bring up there.
Well, no.
Yeah, when was the last time they had a little stretch with good offense? Let's see. I mean, I was looking at it. The month of March, I think they've scored more than 3 goals twice. But I could be wrong. Let me just double check here. Okay, here we go. Say 3 goals, 2 goals, 2 goals and a loss, 2 goals and a loss, 5 goals and a win, 2 goals and a loss, 2 goals and a loss, 3 goals and a win, 3 goals and a loss, 1 goal and a loss, 3 goals and a loss, 3 goals and a loss, 4 goals and a loss, 3 goals and a loss, 2 goals and a loss, 3 goals and a loss. So since February, they've scored more than 3 goals twice.
Wow.
Once in a win, once in a loss. The last time they had 4 goals in back-to-back games, it was actually back-to-back nights, January 15th and 16th. So we're 2 months since the Oilers scored at least 4 goals in back-to-back games.
Wow.
And since that point, I think they've only scored 4 goals in 4 games. So 2 months since they've gone back-to-back with at least 4 goals in a game. That's not what you usually see from this team.
No, and are things going to change in the final 15 when a lot of these guys are still fighting it? I don't know.
The only addition you're going to see is Frederick.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, I don't know if you're expecting him to jumpstart your offense. He's going to have to get up to speed. He's going to have to start to fit in and find some chemistry with new guys. Like, are we sitting here right now saying the Oilers have an offense problem? Is that what we're looking at right now?
Did they score? Yeah, they scored on the power play yesterday.
It is scoring on the power play. Perry's goal was a power play banger in front.
Well, outside of Leon, and I know people are saying McDavid's having a down year, but he's still putting up a lot of damn points. But I think you brought it up. Nuge has 1 goal since February 1st.
February 1st.
Connor Brown has 1 goal in 35 games. Hyman and Henrique has 4 points in the last 2 months. Like, Podkolzin, I don't know what his stats are, but he's not chipping in a lot. Arvidsson finally scored yesterday. I mean,
he had that one-timer last week too, but
Janmark's not anywhere close.
He's a non-factor offensively. Non-factor.
Kasperi Kapanen has 1 goal since January 1st. So, can any of these guys, is there any faith that 2 of these guys can get hot? I don't think there is.
Well, yeah, I mean, 2 of them get hot. Are you talking as far like, so here, let me get, here's Podkolzin, who I think had like 5 or 6 hits yesterday, but
he did.
Podkolzin, since February 1st, has 2 assists, has not scored a goal since then.
But he digs pucks out.
Podkolzin doesn't have a point in March. And he hasn't scored a goal since beginning of February. So,
oh boy.
And you know what's really weird here is that he started the year, didn't score until November 23rd, then scored 3 goals in 3 games.
Yep.
Then didn't score again from November 30th until January 4th. And then he scored 3 goals in 6 games.
Yeah.
And then he hasn't scored again since.
Wow.
So
streaky.
Yeah, I guess you could say he's streaky and he's slumping right now. Like Podkolzin should be, well.
But he's not a guy I look at for offense. He's not.
So you look at the more veteran guys for offense.
Jeff Skinner, Victor Arvidsson, Hyman and Henrique should have more points than he has. Zach Hyman. Like, I look at those guys. Now, if Podkolzin and Janmark and Kapanen can chip in, I mean, that's a bonus. I mean, RNH needs to get going. You can't have 1 goal in a month and a half with the amount of minutes he gets, and he plays in every situation.
Look at this. Adam Henrique, since January 1st, so 2.5 months, 4 goals, 2 assists.
Wow.
6 points since January 1st for Adam Henrique. My God. I didn't know it was that bad. Yeah, he's got 7 points. Sorry, 7 points. 4 goals. Oh, no, 6. 7 points. 4 goals. 5 goals and 2 assists. That's it. That's the math. 5 goals and 2 assists. He has 7 points since January 1st. Actually, I mean, you go back to December 1st, he's got 10 points. He's got 10 points in 3.5 months.
Yeah.
Like, this is a guy, like, and I get it, but he's supposed to be the guy who drives offense on your third line.
Yeah.
10 points in 3.5 months. That's, geez. That's really bad.
So that's why it's like at this point for me, Dusty, like, just set your lines and roll with them. Like, it's going to be interesting when Trent Frederick draws in, right? Like, where is he going to fit? Who are they going to play him with?
Well, at this point, without playing, he's like their 5th best forward.
Yeah.
Like,
but can he ignite some offense on his line, depending on who he plays with?
Let me throw this at you. Since February 1st, how many shots on goal do you think Adam Henrique has?
Holy smokes.
If you want to make a guess, Zach, you can make a guess. Unless you cheated, then don't guess.
You said February 1st?
Since February 1st, and yeah, there was the 4 Nations break, okay? But still, since February 1st, how many shots on goal does Adam Henrique have?
8.
7.
11.
Okay.
But that's 11 shots on goal in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 games.
That's terrible.
11 shots on goal in 15 games. This is even worse. He only has shots in 6 of those games.
Wow.
He's got 9 of the last 15 games with no shots on goal. Like, now, you bring him in here, and this comes back around to, can you find Adam Henrique's time on ice like last year in Anaheim, or even when he came here? Where do we find that?
Like his average?
Like his average, because I'm looking here. He's playing 13 minutes a night. Like, he's playing just over 13 minutes a night, but he needs to provide more than 11 shots and 1 goal and 1 assist in the last 15 games. So, I mean, there's lots of those types of guys where you don't need them all to get going, but you need one guy going this game and then another guy going this game. And then so maybe Arvidsson and Skinner, I thought Arvidsson and Skinner were both pretty good yesterday. So maybe they can build that going and they're going for a bit. And maybe Nugent Hopkins 3-point game. Like, I know Nuge got 3 points in his first start, but I didn't think he was brilliant. Like, I wasn't like, oh my God, Nugent Hopkins is taking this game over. I thought he made a couple good, I'm not even sure he should have gotten an assist on the Perry goal. So it's just like they need to find some offense from some of these guys.
So last year he had...
I'm worried that Henrique doesn't have it left. Like,
he was averaging last year in 60 games for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, 17:35.
Yeah, so he was playing 4 more minutes a game in Anaheim. And like, so yeah, I get it. You're like, he would be top 6 in Anaheim last year before they got him. Essentially, he was pretty much playing top 6 numbers. Comes here, stuck on the third line with guys who literally can't do anything. He's not at a stage of his career where he's going to drive a line like that, even though they're paying him to as a third line center. And all of a sudden you get like nothing offensively for 3 months now from Adam Henrique.
He was playing on a bad team, first unit power play, because I had him in fantasy last year, and he was really good there. So
he was good when he came here last year too, though.
But different roles, right? But he still shouldn't be this bad offensively.
No, I mean, this is...
He got 2 games with Connor McDavid and did squat. If anyone can remember any good plays that line did, please send it in.
But this is kind of beyond slump. Like, this is
a bad year.
January. This is 2.5 months with 7 points. And actually, if you add up all of his shots, 27 shots on goal in 2.5 months. Like, that's not even remotely close to what you need for $3 million.
That's bad.
It's
not good. Not good at all. So that's what I mean, where can this team find some scoring outside of Leon, who's having a fantastic season? Connor finally saw him smile yesterday for the first time since he scored the overtime winner for Canada. Maybe he's feeling good again. He's, some home cooking, 4 straight games. And then Frederick is, do we even have a timeline yet? Maybe next week?
I mean, I would think he's got to probably start skating next week. That's I think what they would have said, right? That's 2 weeks after the deadline, and he was out before that. So I would think, but it's Monday. I mean, so you're looking at still another
10 days.
10 days until he's skating.
Yeah,
so hopefully he's skating at some point, maybe during the homestand. At least get out there a little bit.
That's the thing, right? He's not even skating yet. So, and again, we're talking about Trent Frederick here. If we're waiting for him to come save this team, then we have bigger problems. But
Troll is in and says, guys, most nights I forget Henrique is even on the team. Library Pat says, if none of the depth guys are going to heat up, how exactly are they winning 11 out of their last 15? Skinner's going to steal a bunch? I mean, that's...
Skinner steals a bunch. Leon continues on his pace.
Peter's in and says, the Henrique slander is crazy right now. You're giving him shit because he played 5 periods with McDavid and it wasn't good enough? I mean, we just pointed out, look, man, Adam Henrique being a non-factor offensively for 2.5 months, I get it. He doesn't have great wingers, but he's supposed to be the guy that picks these wingers up a bit. And he hasn't been that guy. Raider Jesse to the inbox at 780-218-9999. The analytics said that Janmark, Henrique, and Brown were really struggling in the playoffs last year, but had a really good PDO. That's the luck meter, right? The 24-25 Oilers made the exact same mistake as the 06-07 did with their Staios, Moreau, and Pisani contracts. Overpaid for unsustainable playoff results, and it was easy to see. So there's Raider Jesse. And Eden says, how much of Henrique's stats this year are a reflection of how the coaches want him to play? The coaching staff this year seems to love going to the blender, and the bottom 6 is like an island of misfit toys. Yeah, but the coaching staff doesn't go, hey, man, we barely want you to shoot the puck and don't produce anything over the last 2.5 months. They're not going to have that conversation with him.
I don't think the coach is stifling their offense. Sure, you can complain about the lines. Sure, that's on Chris Knobloch. He hasn't settled on any lines. So you just need more. And Henrique said it post-game against, was it New Jersey? Someone needs to help the big guys. Like, they're not doing it. He said it in his own words. We're not doing enough to help, our team score. So they all realize what they're doing right now, right? And I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I think once Trent Frederick's back, Dusty, I think Kapanen's out. I truly do. Because Connor Brown, Adam Henrique, and Matthias Janmark are not going anywhere. They're going to remain in the lineup no matter what.
Yeah.
Because Knobloch likes them. So for me, it comes down to Max Jones and Kasperi Kapanen. Both guys might be not here. Who knows?
780-218. So I guess this conversation we just had, are we concerned about their offense?
Yes.
Have we ever said that over the last few years?
No. All we talked about
weird.
was they could outscore their problems. Now they can't.
Or they haven't for a few months now.
But that's the thing, right? Like
the last time they went 4-5, it was those 2 comeback wins. Colorado, Minnesota, remember?
Yeah.
That was the last time they scored at least 4 goals in back-to-back games. Not that it happens all the time, but we've expected this team to be pretty good offensively. And they just haven't so far. Except Leon Draisaitl, 18 straight games with a point now, buddy.
Guy's a beast.
Did you think for a moment he wasn't going to score on that breakaway on Friday night in overtime?
As soon as you saw him, you're like, and like, look at his just body language. Like he's like, I know where I'm going. This is over.
Yeah.
Like
right away. Like he wasn't messing around.
All you had to do was point at Sorokin and be like, yeah, this is over. Kind of like Owen Nolan did in the
pointed up top there. Like
you just knew it was done.
Hey, Zach, can you throw up the Popeyes spicy headlines? We're going to get into this. Popeyes, of course, if you're looking for a bite to eat here at lunch today, they've got the $4 value menu. If there's anything left, because Reed Wilkins probably went there for lunch today because he loves it. But $4, they got the mini chicken sandwich, mini chicken wrap, blackened cauliflower, fried pickles, and of course the 5 chicken nugs at Popeyes. Just $4 for those snackable items. If you want to get the big chicken sandwich and throw some nugs on the side or something like that, you can definitely do that. Tommy Gazzola texted us earlier today from the. Did you see the text from the Athletic?
Yeah.
Daryl Cates comes in at 22nd ranked among NHL owners with a B-. It's been the majority owner since 2008. Wow, he was owning this team before I even moved to town.
It's crazy.
For some reason, I thought I was here for a bit before he became owner, but I guess not. Anyway, here's where they were ranked. This is the fan base evaluation of Daryl Cates, according to the Athletic. Willingness to spend, they finished ranked 4th, which makes sense. I mean, he's okay to spend and buy guys out, and like good. Organizational stability, 28th in the league.
Wow.
I mean, but they have over. I mean, they've moved some
look at the
coaches in and
GMs,
out, right? Like, treatment of the fan base. I don't even technically know how they gauge treatment of the fan base, but he's 24th ranked there. Franchise vision is 22nd.
Wow. Confidence
in the owner, 2025 versus 2024. 51% of the people have the same amount of confidence in him. 11% of people are more confident in him.
Oh, wow.
And 38% of people have lower confidence in him. Does any of this surprise you at all? This was the one quote that they had from a fan's perspective. And so this was kind of done like with the athletic staff, and then they incorporate the fans in.
Yeah.
The quote from the fan was, since he has owned the Oilers, Daryl Cates has had something like 7 different GMs and 11 different coaches. Unbelievable lack of organizational stability and long-term vision. And then the other quote is, Cates is willing to spend, but has made terrible decisions to date with management hirings. That has held the team back from winning a cup with McDavid and Draisaitl. So
fair. I think that's fair.
I mean, in the end, he got a B-, which isn't bad. You get through high school looking pretty good with a bunch of B-. But the willingness to spend at 4 and then the organizational stability at 28. It's quite like fans like the fact that he's willing to spend, but pretty much don't like anything else about it.
I mean, they're not wrong. We had people on Thursday night, Friday night.
Fire Knobloch?
Wednesday night. When did they play the Devils? Thursday.
Thursday is back-to-back. Thursday, Friday.
Like people are ready to move on from Knobloch. I'm like, come on.
Well, this comes back around to the stability thing in that they have made a lot of these changes, which is why, as much as some people, like fans always want change. It's just how, whether it's
fun,
you want good change, and whether it's the players or it's this or that. But I mean, would they not be laughed at by pretty much everyone around the league if they made either a managerial or a coaching change this offseason.
That says more about this core than it does anybody else. That they need another.
That's why I don't think they'll do it. Like they can't possibly. To me, this time around, if they let's say they play the Kings in the first round and they lose, and Daryl Cates. I mean, as far as if you're looking for like being a passionate fan, he's got to be up near the top. Like all these owners are, I guess. But he would want to see success. So if they lose in the first round, I wouldn't be surprised if he's putting a little bit of pressure on somebody somewhere in the organization to do something. And the only next thing you can do is Nuge goes or Nurse goes.
Yeah.
Or I don't think you're moving Hyman Draisaitl. Like there would have to be some sort of shakeup to the core. Has to be.
There has to be.
If they go out.
Hell, you might have 2 new goaltenders next year. Seriously.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? To be honest with you, maybe that's well, you know what? That probably is more realistic than any of those core guys get moving with all the no moves.
These guys are not Bowman's guys. Skinner's not. Picker's not.
Jake Allen is a free agent in the offseason.
And I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying it is a possibility because if they're out in the first round, holy smokes. Like, and the crappy part about it is you can't trade, like Skinner's out, right? Arvidsson's a 2-year deal.
Yeah. Skinner was just 1. Arvidsson's 2. Henrique's 2.
So all these guys.
Is Janmark 3?
He's 3. All these guys are here for another year, some for 2, and you can't move them because they have no movement clauses.
So, but with the cap going up, and if you're not going to spend it on Rantanen like apparently they wanted to, sign Bouchard and give some money to a goalie and upgrade if you feel like that needs to be the case.
Well,
right?
They sign Bouchard is another big one.
They'll sign him.
We'll see. I'm not convinced of that yet.
So what do they do with him? They have to sign him.
Maybe they go out and get another defenseman.
Yeah, but they're not going to let him walk. Are you saying they might trade him instead of sign him? Okay, I mean, I'll have some time for that conversation.
If he continues to struggle this year and let's say he has a really bad first round and they're out, I mean, how can you justify paying a guy off 1 good year? And I'm not saying trade him either off 1 bad year, but I'm saying it's going to be interesting. I don't think it's a slam dunk that they sign him long term. Hell, they might bridge him again.
Do you think he would accept that though? He might just say, "Look, I'll take less. Give me a longer term. Lock it in." Then he can really chill.
Can you imagine a chilled
this
Evan
is Bouchard in a contract
the
here.
hell out of me.
What are you going to do with it? That maybe more. C. Run over in the nasty chat. You did not. This was not necessary. But he points out that Campbell's buyout goes up to $2.6 million next year.
Oh boy.
So they will have that. But the cap is going up as well. Penner's Pancake says the Oilers are going to sign whoever Florida doesn't want out of Bennett or Ekblad. Hey, are you going to Popeyes, Reed? No, I don't need anything. But I thought you were off to Popeyes. Okay, Reed's gonna get Popeyes later this week. I knew it. I
lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something really intelligent, which I rarely do. Well, $3 million, 1.7 from Klimberg and Skinner. That's 4.7. Kapanen's gone. That's $1 million, 5.7. That's not bad so far, right?
Yeah, I mean it clears them off, and then the cap's going up as well, right? So
yeah.
They will have some flexibility with it, but they had a little bit last year and have it tied into older guys that have not been performing. So they'll just have to be a little bit smarter with it.
What happens with Kane? Maybe they find someone in the offseason to unload him on, right?
Yeah, that might cost you a little bit, but
yeah,
you're going to have to.
You're in win mode now, man. Let's go.
See. Do you have any expectations for Kane this year?
No. He's not even like.
He hasn't skated with the group, right? Like, I don't think.
It's March 17th.
Could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but.
I just don't know how much you're just going to drop him in game 2 of round 1.
Like, I mean,
I don't know what
it depends.
To expect.
I guess. Yeah, it's impossible to have expectations for that. Nobody will know what that guy will look like. He's either going to be like, oh my God, he looks amazing. Or, oh, he looks like he hasn't played and had all this surgery in the last 6-7 months.
I'll leave it with this, Dustin. I don't know if you agree, but if they're out in the first round, or if they don't make it to the final,
if they don't make it to the final,
well, let's say they're out in the first or second round.
Okay, so they don't come out of the division.
Yeah, I think Bowman and Jackson move on one of the big Oiler guys, and that's excluding Leon and Draisaitl.
Okay,
I mean Leon and McDavid.
So
Nuge,
It's Nuge and Nurse.
Hyman.
You can't trade Hyman.
Bouchard. But I do think they do like a little blow up. Like, okay, this is not working. We need some money. Because a good point by Ross says the 5.7 is 29's raise. Yeah, that goes over to Leon. So, yeah, I think they do, man. It might be Stuart Skinner, even though he's only 2.6. I think if they don't have success this year in the playoffs, they're going to do a mini little blow up, and you're going to see a big name move.
Bowman's, none of this is his.
No.
Like, outside of Klingberg and Kapanen and those guys. But
Ekholm's getting older. You still got, I think.
But you're not. Are you? So let's just say that Hernan's theory here comes to fruition after, say they get to the second round, lose to Vegas. You're like, damn it. With Nurse playing better this year, do you view it as keep him because he's playing better, or do you view it as, hey, maybe someone sees he's playing better and you can move the contract?
Be either way, man. That's a big ticket.
But he's going to say no. He's got no movement. Like, this is the problem. All these guys are just going to be like, no, sorry, man, I'm staying. Nuge is going to say, no, sorry, I'm staying.
That's a good point.
Right? Like, they're just, Nurse, I don't know how that's going to.
I think Nurse, Hyman, and Nuge have no movements. I mean, you could try.
Yeah, but so that's why those guys are set up here, young families.
So it might be Bouchard or Skinner as the little blow up. The Oilers will do this because no one else can move because everybody has a damn no movement clause. I mean, I don't think they should trade Bouchard. Let me just get that out there. But what do you think you get for a Bouchard? I think if you're trading
a
Bouchard,
different type of defenseman,
you're trading a guy similar in his age, better defensively.
So a team that's looking for offense might go here or this.
Jake Wallman can run your power play.
Yeah.
Matthias Ekholm's 34 years old. He'll be 35 in May. Do they look to say, yeah, you've been great for us, but we're going to time to move on? I'm just
and then you roll Nurse and Wallman on your left side moving forward.
And then you can hopefully get Bouchard at a good deal.
This has been a weird conversation considering we predicted to win 11 of their final 15 games.
No, but we're talking about if they're out in the first round of the playoffs, which is a possibility, right?
Ross, RCN says Arvidsson will waive. We believe Arvidsson would waive as well.
Yeah, I think
on a trade.
That's a good one, actually.
Yeah, Arvidsson, by all accounts, would be willing to waive.
You're not bringing back Kapanen, Paul Colson. Who's the other one? Max Jones.
A lot of those guys probably don't resurface.
No.
I don't think. Connor Brown, has he got another year after this year?
I think so. I think Stetcher does too.
And Josh Brown's got 2.
Oh,
so we'll see if he factors in here. All right, 780-218-9999 is where you can get in. Let's get to a few of these. Hampton Steve says, if the Oilers and Skinner flame on the playoffs, does Gibson trade chatter start up again? Man, Gibson trade pattern, it would be up midway through the series.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to get that type of thing.
You need a guy that can stay healthy, though. I'm open, sure, if you want to bring in a goalie, but a guy that can stay healthy.
Peter's in it says, I would have thought Philp would be in play for next year, but the organization basically has given up on him. You know what? I don't know about that. I will say I just traded for Philp in a simulation hockey league I'm in with Guy Flaming.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I traded. I had Kuznetsov expiring contract. He's not even in the league anymore. And it's like a simulation league, so he still has a rating based on like last year. So I traded Kuznetsov, and I got some prospect named Finney, who plays in the dub, Philp, and a first rounder in 2029 as the rebuild starts for Dusty's Las Vegas Aces.
I got some bad news.
What's that?
Podkolzin signed for another year.
That's not the end of the world if he's in your bottom 6.
Is he? Wait, hold on.
I thought he just said.
Yeah, him and Max Jones are both signed. That's $2 million though.
Next year?
Yeah. So the only guys that are UFAs are Corey Perry, Connor Brown, Kasperi Kapanen, and Jeff Skinner and Trent Frederick. So that's 5 guys. Everybody else has a no move outside of Vasily Podkolzin and Max Jones.
And Max Jones. And we'll see what happens with Frederick. Because they haven't been liking him. He's going to cost them a few $1 million too. So maybe he'll be able to provide something if they do get to see him at some point. All right, what's coming up in EST afternoons? You're going to be sliding over here.
Yes.
Gager's going to sit there.
Just
you guys are going to be getting some F1. I know that.
Yeah, F1. Lots of Oilers. Coob. We're going to take a look at his breakaways.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to break
both
him
of them?
down.
Just the first one?
I don't know. He's got a surprise for us.
I don't think we have that second one on film.
No, but we had the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The second one, he went to go top cheese, missed, and slid to the end boards. But the first one was a beauty.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we tried to go to Calgary, but it didn't work out. But tomorrow, we'll have some more fun. Oh, we do. We might have a guest. But yeah, lots of Oilers, F1, and have some fun with Kube and his great shootout attempt that I saw on video. I'm so proud of him.
Dan, so it was great doing a show with you today.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
Tecmo sucked.
Yeah.
We can forget that one because, regular season hasn't even got going yet. So
13-0.
We'll do it at some point.
13-0.
Nice win. It was a nice win. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, you have a good show with Gager.
Hey, you have a good trip.
I will. I'm off to Disneyland tomorrow morning with the family, which is going to be a lot of fun. I'll be back next Wednesday. I said on the Nielsen show this morning, the Oilers aren't going to lose while I'm gone. They're going to win out the entire way. I'll come back to a very happy community.
You heard it here
which will be that'll be something. EST Afternoons is on the way, followed by the Reed Wilkins Show from 3 to 6. For Hernan Salas, I'm Dustin Nielsen. Oil Stream brought to you by Boston Pizza, and of course, in portions of it, brought to you by Popeyes. Thank you very much. Take it easy.